They always said I'm wrong, but what they doing today? I think they want me gone, but I ain't going away. They told me I was wrong, but look at my ass today. Da 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 da.
Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim for The Real Sports Talk. You can hit me up on Twitter at CashKelly_TRST. Also like The Real Sports Talk on Facebook, Facebook.com/The Real Sports Talk. Later on, I will have the NFL final score. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock edition or just one big one. We'll have to see on that. But big NBA news that went down last night. I wasn't able to do a video on it last night, but I'm going to bring it to you right now. James Harden has been traded to the Houston Rockets, a team that has been trying to get another big star in there for quite some time now. We know they tried to make a deal to acquire Dwight Howard, and that did not work out as he ended up going to the Lakers. But what has worked out is they end up getting James Harden from the Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending Sixth Man of the Year. They acquire the Thunder in return are going to get Kevin Martin, Jeremy Lamb, 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. Honestly, 2 first-round picks, you really don't know what you're going to get at this point because the value of a first-round pick in the NBA, unless you have like the number 1 pick, really is not very high. So while they've built their team through first-round picks, I'm not sure getting those back and getting the second-round pick back really means much. Kevin Martin's a nice player. Jeremy Lamb is going to be a very nice player, but you're giving up James Harden, Cole Aldridge, Daquan Cook, and Lazar Hayward. I think in the long run, James Harden might not have been worth the max contract. They tried to get him on a 4-year, $55 million deal. He was able to get the max contract from the Thunder. It sounds like the Rockets are going to give it to him anyway, but the Thunder basically had to give him that max contract. They did not, and he would not accept a deal for 4 years, $55 million. The deal that he's going to end up getting is 4 years, $60 million. I mean, that's just, it's classless, really. You're going to leave a team that has a chance to win an NBA championship for the next 5 years, 4 years that you would be there, at least, to take $5 million more, $4.5 million more. Chris Broussard says he's going to get that from the Houston Rockets, the Houston Rockets have had a pretty solid offseason. Whether Jeremy Lin works out or not, he's at the very least going to bring attention. They didn't have to really give anything up for him. All they give up is paying him a lot of money, which, I mean, certainly you don't want to do that if he's not going to pan out well, but he's going to bring a lot of attention to your team at the very least. So you get him. Now you have James Harden. I'm not sure James Harden is someone long-term that you can build your team around, but at the very least he's going to be a nice piece that they're going to be able to add into that team, add into the mix for the next 4 or 5 seasons. So that part is fine. In terms of Oklahoma City, I said Friday night when I hosted the Blitz Hardcore podcast that the player in the NBA that I was most worried about, not only because of the mileage he had after playing through an entire season, going to the finals, obviously they didn't win, but going to the finals, playing in the Olympics, and then pretty much 3 weeks later heading into training camp, was James Harden. And I'm not sure that it would have became a distraction with James Harden. I think everyone pretty much knew once they signed Serge Ibaka that this was going to be his last year. But you could kind of tell that it was going to be something that was brought up a lot throughout the year. I still felt like, all right, you deal with that and you keep him, because James Harden, no matter what, gave the Oklahoma City Thunder the best chance that they had to win an NBA championship this year. Can they still do it? Certainly they can still do it, but I think that the likelihood of that went down last night after trading James Harden. We'll see what happens. I think the Rockets make out nicely here, even though they give up a pretty nice package. Kevin Martin's a good player. Jeremy Lamb has a lot of potential. But they get back James Harden, that's a nice piece to work with, and they get back a few other players in Hayward, Cook, and Aldridge, so that certainly is not going to hurt. And then they give up some draft picks that really in the end could end up meaning nothing. So James Harden is a Houston Rocket. Let me know about your thoughts, guys, on this trade. Obviously not a trade that we expected to see. Apparently, though, they have talked about it for a while, because Brian Geltzeiler of HoopsCritic.com told me this morning. I spoke with him. He said it's been on the radar screen for quite a while now. It was a simple process. Either he was going to take the below-market deal, and below-market was $4.5 million. That extra $4.5 really meant that much to him, or he was going to get dealt. And he decided that he was going to reject that 4-year, $55.5 million deal, and now James Harden is a Houston Rocket. Let me know about your thoughts, guys. I'll be back for the NFL Final Score later. Thanks for tuning in.
Just a little ways around the corner from fear. Be there, next year, where I'm going.